So I didn't play the countdown, so I don't know what just happened. It was weird. It didn't do nothing. Anyway, thanks for joining us today on our next episode of Much Ado About Nothing presents 6 divisions in 6 weeks, the Pacific Division. So yeah, this week we're definitely doing Pacific Division. We'll be talking about the teams on the West Coast, more or less. Obviously, a lot of them being California teams, but we'll start getting into it now. Starting off with the Golden State Warriors. But before we do that, let's introduce the panel. Jawan, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jawan. I like long walks on the beach.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Hello.
I can mute him, right?
Wrong
All right,
thing.
cool. Wrong show, sir. Wrong sir.
Yeah.
Did.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Didge. I also like long walks on the beach. Oh, we're not gonna all do that.
Yeah. I mean, you can continue. Prime, do you want to continue the trend?
I mean, well, I do like long walks on the beach. So, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Yeah, I like long walks on the beach, sports, beer, all that stuff. Yeah.
I can't argue with a nice long walk on the beach, though I don't love sand. It's coarse. Anyway. Anyway, let's talk some basketball today, fellas, and let's talk about the team that just seems to stay frozen in time. The Golden State Warriors. Let's go over there. What's going on right now? My projected starters currently, as they're currently configured: Steph Curry, Pods, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Trace Jackson Davis for now. Probably the starters. Returning, Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga. That's going to be fun to discuss. Moses Moody, Gui Santos, Colton Post, Taron Armstrong, Jackson Rowe returning. New additions, 2 rookies. Will Richard, they drafted. That's 2 that they traded for, I believe. Or maybe it's vice versa. I can't remember. Anyway, my point is this team hasn't really done anything in free agency because of the whole holdup with Jonathan Kuminga and his restricted free agency. So there's a couple guys on deck to join the Warriors as soon as that is settled. Hopefully soon, considering it is almost October 1st. But I've heard some rumblings they might trade him. Like I think there was a rumor yesterday about Sacramento being interested, and I know they're interested in Phoenix. But we'll get to that. What do you guys think about the Warriors right now? Considering, actually, let me go over the names before we get completely into it. So some of the names attached to the Golden State Warriors as possible signings, it looks very likely at this point, are Al Horford, who at this point this summer was weighing retiring or joining the Warriors because Celtics, he was not going there. The return of Gary Payton II. That's not too shocking. He's been with them forever. And when he left, he ended up coming back anyway. Seth Curry, the brother of Steph Curry. Not bad bench piece. And D'Anthony Melton, who actually was with the Warriors last year, I believe, before he got injured or got traded. Or he got traded because he got injured. Either way, he was a starter last year. He was actually he's a good player. It's really sad. I like that guy. He just seems to be very injury prone, though. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's start with Dage. Dage, what do you think about the Golden State Warriors in that debacle at the moment?
I'm mainly shocked that this Kuminga situation has drawn out past the summer. Like, it's insane to me. And I guess I was just reading that he has to make a decision to sign the qualifying offer by October 1st. So
right, exactly.
That is resolution day, right? Like, it has to be either he's signing it and dealing with it all this year, or he gets traded. Like, there's no way this goes past that. And I mean, obviously it can go past that with like him just signing it and being angry all year. Like, yeah, that. But I mean, in terms of the will they, won't they have him on their roster next year, it has to end October 1st.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I don't know, I don't want him to go back. I know they don't mind him coming back, and I don't think he really wants to come back unless he feels wanted. And paying him would show him that they want him, but it's really also another way of trading him. But if it comes down to is that the what's it called, the player option or the team option, that seems to be the biggest thing right now.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, like you said, they haven't really done anything because they've been sort of hamstrung by this. So
Right.
it's however you felt about the Warriors last year, you kind of, I'd say, feel a little less optimistic about it because obviously everybody's the year older, especially all of their stars.
Right.
And it's like a lot of teams did get better while they were dealing with this, and so they didn't get a chance to get better. Like none of those names you named, they're good pieces, but they're
Right.
not franchise changing pieces to the point where
No.
you're going to feel a lot more confident than some of these other teams in the West.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, they were when Jimmy Butler arrived and when he played and they played together, they were a good team. And
Yes.
they weren't. They even took out the Rockets, and the Rockets were a good team going into the playoffs. They were number 2 seed. So credit to them. When healthy, they could do damage. But like you said, they are getting older. And this is Steph's window. You know, they can't be
Right.
stuck on.
You're not relying on Draymond to get you anywhere, so it's like
For sure. Prime, talk to me about the Warriors.
Very interesting. And like Dej was saying, it's just like we're in a standstill right now. Like, what are they going to do with Kuminga? And it's obviously, you named a bunch of the rumored players that could be coming there and he could be going out for. Another player that I heard was hearing off and on for a while was Malik Monk, back to this Sacramento situation.
Yep.
And I do think Golden State is interested in that, and it could happen. I think the deal is, I think I read somewhere a few weeks ago that he has that player option, I think in 26, 27, 20. Anyway, there's a player option when the Holds got over 20 million
27. I was literally reading the article.
I remember seeing that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, well, that's probably a hold up right there. How does that fit into what they're trying to do salary wise? But beyond that, I mean, that's really all you can say. I don't think you can expect a whole lot. I mean, they started out pretty hot early on last year, and then they kind of fizzled a little bit. They had some things happen, but I don't know how you can be super optimistic about this team, other than maybe another play-in. But until you find out where this Kuminga thing is going, I think you just kind of left hanging, man.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to like that, I would trade them. I know they don't really want. They want a better deal. Apparently, they want more. I think it was like a pick in Monk, and they want to eventually. If they don't want to keep Monk, they want to trade him away. I'm like, all right. I mean, if you get something for Monk somewhere else, that's fine. I just think you got to settle this Kuminga thing and get it off your shoulders, in my opinion.
And I think Buddy Hield is interesting too. Buddy, because Buddy's the type of player that can be a crazy asset on the court for you, but he also can be a crazy asset if you need to make some other moves too, depending on who the player is and what their team is asking for. So outside of the Kuminga situation, I would definitely watch as the season progresses the interest or the possibility of Buddy being there the entire season.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they're gonna have glut, especially if they do the signing that they want, and if they make the trade even bigger, glut at guard. So. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But in due time, Juwan, talk to me about the Bay.
It's interesting because I remember, and I think Didge was here for that. I remember the conversation being the year before they won the championship. It kind of being like Clay looks like he's starting to lose his fastball. No one saw the explosion of Jordan Poole really, really happening. So it was the idea of like, are we starting to see the end of Golden State? And they pulled the championship out of their ass. So it's like it's hard with this team, right? Obviously, no one's picking them as the front runner to be the champion this year, but it's like it's hard to necessarily rule them out because they could be one player like Kuminga stepping up away from being back in the conversation, whether that's by hook or by crook. 8th seed that shocks the world kind of thing, or they just remind people of, Curry is still Curry. Maybe Draymond's not still Draymond, but Curry is still Curry. So, I mean, the roster doesn't look all that attractive right now, but the team's found a way to do it before, and until Curry retires or loses his fastball, it's hard to believe that they can't figure something out. to at least be more competitive than what Didge was saying, which is a play-in team.
Well, I never said playing. That was Prime.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I said whatever. Well, I did say whatever they did last year. Be expecting that. So.
Oh, well, were they
if it
playing
stays like this, then yes.
I don't know. I don't remember if they made it outright or not. I just know they ended up made it into the playoffs.
I believe it was ninth seed. I believe.
Oh, okay. No, you can expect that. I agree.
Okay. Again, I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I'm just saying this franchise finds a way to do something. So I'm still holding out hope that the Golden State Warriors' ability to shine again is still there.
They got the players. I mean, it's not like they don't have star power. They definitely do. It's just a matter of resolving this little issue they have, and they're bringing in role players, and that might be enough to make some noise, at least to get a playoff seed. So,
yeah.
Alrighty, let's move on. Let's leave the Bay and go to La La Land, but not the La La Land you think of when I say La La Land. No, it's still La La Land, but it's just a different team. Let's go to the Clippers, the Clips. Now, they have been very quiet this summer. I can't even say that with a straight face. So they've been very dramatic. This has been a really crazy. They had a pretty, actually, in my opinion, they had a pretty good offseason until the whole drama with Kawhi and his little financial issue. But we'll get to that. Let's start with my projected starters. My projected starters are as follows: James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, Ivica Zubac, who had a fantastic year last year. Returning, Chris Dunn, Nicholas Batum, Derek Jones Jr., Bogdan Bogdanovic, Kobe Brown, Cam Christie, Jordan Miller, and Trenton Flowers. With new additions, CP3, Brooke Lopez, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, a rookie, and Kobe Sanders, also a rookie, on to it. I like the offseason moves. Trading for John Collins, signing Bradley Beal after he got bought out, picking up Chris Paul and Brooke Lopez for the bench. That's, to me, that looks good on paper. At least they look good. This will have to play out for me to truly believe them, to believe in them at least. But at least looking at them, the roster looks kind of stacked. It looks pretty good. Now they're old. If this is more like 2-3 years ago, a different story. But I like what I see. My point is, that's not really been the biggest thing this summer about the Clippers. There was this controversy about how Kawhi Leonard's contract was used and how he took payment. I don't really know the whole story off the top of my head. I just know he was getting paid. Diz, you probably have more of an idea of how it was going down.
Yeah.
Go into that a little bit because I don't really know how to explain it.
Yeah, so essentially it was like a random day. Pablo Torres on his podcast talked about how there was this way that the Clippers were skirting the salary cap. So essentially what they did was it was like a phantom endorsement deal with this landscaping company. What they do is they essentially will charge companies and just people $1 to plant a tree wherever. It's the idea of just reforesting the world, helping save stuff. Well, it costs like 50 cents to charge a tree. So, obviously great deal for them. And so the Clippers were one of their sponsors, and there was this company called KL2 Unlimited or so. I can't remember the name, but let's just for remember KL2 Unlimited. And that was one of their sponsors. They were paying $21 million a year to be able to, they were sponsors. So like he would have to come out and plant a tree or repost a social media post or do some type of promotion. But inside of it, there was a clause that essentially said, if you feel like it, if it doesn't agree with your beliefs, you don't have to do any of this with no penalty. So essentially, $21 million a year for nothing. Because on paper, yeah, you're supposed to, do all these social media posts. But if it goes against your beliefs, you can say no, and there was no penalty. Right. So they did some digging, and obviously, when you look at the IRS filings for the KL2 Unlimited company, the primary holder is Kawhi Leonard. Right. So then, obviously, questions start to come. You figure out that they're also a big sponsor of the Clippers. Steve Ballmer put a lot of money into the company, so it's just like the wheel starts turning, and now the NBA is investigating, and it looks really weird. Like it does. It looks very weird, and honestly, I think that's the thing that could doom this team all year. Because like, what are you going to do under the specter of that? Like we were talking before we went online. There were already rumors about some people in the front office are like, well, we just got to cut ties with Kawhi. We know we can get a good trade haul for him. And if we get him out of the city, we don't have to deal with this specter on our back all year. So this has it could create real damage to the team, and it couldn't have come at a worse time because the All-Star game's in their stadium this year. So it's just it's
Intuit Dome, whatever.
Yeah, it was like the Intuit Dome or something.
Yeah, it's Intuit. I believe it's Intuit.
But no, like it's 2 months ago, if we were doing this, I would have been like, oh yeah, they're probably primed to be a player in the West. Like, and they probably still are. But it is a wonder of what damage will this do to the season, and like just having to have those eyes on you even more so than just playing in Los Angeles. What is that going to do throughout the year? Like, we've seen how much a media circus can derail a team, and what will it happen here? Like, what will the NBA do? Like, what's going to be the cause and effect of the investigation?
Right.
So it's a mess.
It is a mess. And it sucks that they just had, I don't know how long that went, but none of that was basketball related. It was just drama.
Which is crazy.
Sad. Jawan, do you have any comments for the Clippers?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with anything, even though you saying this roster kind of looks stacked. Man, this roster is just the Clippers version of what the Lakers did with Kobe and Shaq, bringing in old-ass Karl Malone.
I think they get to the final.
A team did go to the final.
They don't got a Kobe and Shaq here.
I'm just saying, you're comparing.
No. I definitely get you. I have less to say about the actual team because there's nothing you can say about the team if this Kawhi Leonard thing is going to be a problem, because then that changes everything. It drastically changes everything. I'll just say this, and you can pass it right to Prime. I don't have a problem with what was done. It is a morality issue. I don't think it should be investigated because I feel as though every team in the NBA finds ways to skirt the system to pay. I mean, were we not just talking about this last year where it looked like Boston Celtics had like so many pieces, and it's like, how are you paying everyone? Like, how are you paying that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy, right? So it's like, obviously we know certain teams can go over. I mean, all teams can go over the first apron or whatever, but it just seems like sometimes you have too many good players, and there's no fucking way you're paying all of them good money, right? So you start to kind of think to yourself, wait a minute, hold on, like something's happening here. So for me, I think it's a moral issue. I don't think it should be investigated. I think it's just one of those things where it's just like, if anything, you just find them and you just move on.
I think in this case, though, you kind of have to, because one, how blatant it is, and then two, a
lot of money too.
Just the nature of who's like. It sucks to say because it's like the person, but Steve Ballmer is by far the richest owner in the NBA. Like, it's not even close how rich he is than other NBA owners, and obviously they're all super rich. So It's one of those things where you don't want the idea of pay for play to be that blatant in the league. Like, people already talk about NBA scripts and like how the NBA is rigged. You don't want it to be super blatant, especially in a league that they're facing a lot of image problems.
I mean, you're not wrong, but again, what you're saying, Didge, is a moral issue. It's like, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I cannot believe that other teams aren't doing this. It's just Pablo Torre has not put out a whole piece about them. I mean, he was talking about going to the Knicks next. And it's like, dog, it's like, to me, that's what's going to start to ruin the league. is when you start to shine lights on this. Because Prime, you know this better than anyone in this group chat. Baseball slowly started to die once they shined the light on all those steroids. It was easily one of the most popular. It was like the big two, baseball. And then it slowly started to die because it's like, all right, niggas ain't hitting home runs. Like, I'm not. This is 9 innings of 1-1, like 0-0. Like, dog, I'm good off this. So for me, I think you'll end up doing more harm the further you dig than you're doing any kind of good. So I just think
I will say though, I feel like that's not a 1-to-1 analogy because with the steroids, when you get them out of there, sure, those players aren't going to be there to hit home runs for another team. If we find this out and they say, all right, well, Kawhi's contract with the Clippers is null and void. Kawhi goes to Sacramento, starts doing the exact same thing except it's on a different team. Like it's not like Kawhi's going to get bought out the league.
No. This isn't a Kawhi issue. I'm saying if you find out Kawhi did it, right, and that contract's null and void, what happens when Pablo digs deeper and Brunson did it, or they dig deeper and the Lakers did it? You know what I mean? You don't want. I don't know why you got to put it into the snowball. Because look, Didge, what was the biggest thing we said last year, guys? There was no way that there was not some kind of corruption for Luka to end up on the fucking Lakers and then Dallas to end up with the #1 overall pick. There was 100% collusion there. So then you start unraveling everything. That is what will strip the sport of basketball more than anything. Like,
I guess I'm just like, I don't see that it will. I guess that's where I like. All it's going to do is just have more players in different areas, and it's the biggest thing that has been excitement for the league is that it hasn't been repeat champions. Like during the LeBron versus the Warriors era, people were like, I'm tired of seeing the same teams. Now, ever since that ended and we're starting to see new blood almost every offseason, people get really excited. If we're talking about the thing that's going to kill basketball, it's always been that the analysts talk about the game like they hate it. And they're not going to talk more about the game when they hate it with that. Like,
no, I'm just saying if you start unraveling it, this is not a Kawhi thing. This is definitely an NBA thing. So I'm saying if you start unraveling that more teams are doing this, it just becomes it'll just become a mess. Is what I'm saying. It'll just become,
or they'll just find new ways to get around it.
Then that's what I'm trying to say. Stop making this an issue. Then they're just gonna find new ways. Just let this go. It's a moral issue. No one was hurt. I
think I'm sure the Raptors feel like they were hurt, or the 29 other teams who didn't get Kawhi because they didn't have a multi-billionaire.
Here's the problem. Kawhi told Toronto the day he laced up shoes, I ain't staying.
Okay, but then what about the other 28 teams? If this would have came down to Kawhi going to the Clippers or the Knicks, I feel like you'd have a different tune.
No, because I think collusion is why the fucking Nets got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I think they promised them motherfuckers some shit. But no. That's why I said I've accepted it and I've moved on. It just is what it is. And I think the league should approach it that way. It is what it is.
They might.
And yeah, I was gonna say they very well might. They might come back and say, "Hey, we find him $1 million." All right, well,
yeah. I'm about to say they'll slap them in the wrist. Yeah, there's $1 million.
Yeah,
do it again.
Right?
Yeah, don't do it again.
Just find this man. Because here's another bigger thing. It's also a big city that he's in, right? So it's like, yes, if you send him to Sacramento, that could be really good for Sacramento. But do you really want to single-handedly destroy the Clippers again for the next 30 years? Like, do you want to do that?
I'm gonna be honest. The NBA is probably like, do we give a fuck about the Clippers? Like, they not the Lakers you're gonna be destroying. Like, it's the Clippers. The Clippers are destroying themselves.
Can't hurt, honestly.
Like I said, to me, I think it's a moral issue. Let it go. Fine them and just keep it. Because here's the thing: actual people don't care. Like, this isn't like salacious, right? This isn't something. Yeah. This isn't a sexy headline. This is one of those you got to know kind of thing. And I think even the people that know are kind of just like, whatever. Like, whatever. All right, cool. I mean, Didge, this to me, I found like this. Is this not the same thing as locking DeAndre Jordan in his home and saying you can't get out to you? This motherfucker. Wow. good night.
And look,
like,
and
remember that.
look who was number one in defense of Steve Ballmer. You think he wasn't trying to pull the same stuff? Look how bad Mark Cuban was mad. Like,
I'm just saying. And look. What did the NBA tell Mark Cuban? Hey, shit happens every day, B.
Some bullshit, but it is what it is.
it is, yeah, you know.
All right. Prime. Anything?
Man, just going to be interesting to see what Coach Lou want to do with these guys and all these new pieces. I mean, he's got figuring out some minutes here. Going to be interesting with of course with Chris Paul. I guess you can call it. You can call it back home. You want to call it home. How the minutes are distributed once between him. Dunn will probably still get run. I don't see how you not. Get Chris Dunn. I'm surprised about Nicholas Batum coming back because I remember about 2 years ago he's been retiring, and that's like 2 seasons ago. This is it for me. Came back.
He's fine. He's like one of the best players off the bench for them last year.
Yeah. And then interesting. I mean, there's definitely depth. There's definitely scoring. Bogdanovic's there. On that bench. It's definitely not of that there. Definitely can't hurt bringing in Brook Lopez. And then, the backup,
the backup package.
He's down with 13, 14 points a game. But shoot, I mean, the guy's going to shoot 50% from the field when he's in there. I mean,
turnstile though.
Hey,
he turned like
you ain't trying to get him to get on the perimeter.
So I mean, it can't hurt. You're not asking that guy to be your starter, Didge. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, we tried that.
John Collins gonna get you them buckets. I mean, John Collins gonna get you buckets. Like so. I mean, solid. I mean, what number 2 in the Pacific last year? I think they were 5th in the West. The end of the season. I mean, I don't see it being any worse. Barring something
that's
crazy.
fair.
It being any worse than what they were last year.
This team would go crazy if it was 2020 though.
The bubble.
The bubble season, this team would go crazy.
You just hope that they have that first round losses, and that's the question. Can you get out of the first round this year? So
can you get out of? Can you make noise in the playoffs? As soon as this fall apart, right there.
Yep,
sucks every year.
They gotta hope Father Time don't come in.
Oh no, yeah, Bradley Beal's been injury prone.
He gonna definitely be at the games now.
Hold on.
You gonna be at the game.
Father Time come in. Father Time is has already bought his season tickets.
He courtside.
Yeah, he's a season ticket holder. That man said, "Oh,
just with the bench between Chris Paul and Lopez and Batum."
I was going to say that's just Chris Paul and Lopez. The minute he seems Bradley Beal get injured for the first time, he's gonna go, "Oh, yep, nope, you too."
Yeah. Kawhi's destined to get hurt at some point next year. We'll see when. John Collins hurt a lot last year.
Actually,
Father Time creeping up at the wrong time would be probably worse than the NBA catching out Steve Ballmer or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they probably gonna slap him on the wrist. I mean, he's one of the most likable owners, as you mentioned. I mean, the guy. I mean, well respected, especially when they went through, before that ownership. Man, like you kind of just hope that this is kind of, as an NBA fan as a whole, no matter who your squad is, the damage that could come from this.
Yeah,
I'd rather see them. If something was to happen, y'all make some deals behind closed doors or something. Show us something. Just keep it moving, man.
If this was a Donald Sterling issue, no one would be blinking an eye. Come on. This is not that bad. It's not that type of salacious bullshit.
That's different.
Yeah, that is different. That was a
lot
animal. Yeah. So this is not that, is what I'm trying to say.
Let me ask you this though. Did I read that right at some point? The organization or the fake organization, whatever it was that he got the money for, that's on his bankrupt now, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if he ended up getting the full amount because I think they were paying him annually. So I think he ended up not getting the full amount anyway.
I will say this last thing on the Clippers. Didge, this is the perfect time to bundle whatever draft picks you got with Kyle Kuzma. See if you can't flip that into Kawhi.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm every other team, I'm super excited to hear about this because I'm like, I'm in their ear. Like, don't you want to just get rid of the controversy? You get Kawhi out of there.
I mean, look. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? As Didge was talking, Joel, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Prime, I did maybe put in OG Anunoby for Kawhi straight up.
Come on, dog.
I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I did it, and the trade simulator was like, all right, yeah. And I'm like, shit, okay. Let's take a younger Kawhi. Take a younger Kawhi. Y'all want that, right? No? All right. You know, just saying.
I take it, honestly.
Just saying.
You have to throw in a draft pick. Y'all still got any?
Yeah, we still got draft picks.
We got one. Like,
I mean, also look at this, Didge. They won't be working from a standpoint of control, really.
That's
like,
also true. that is very true.
That contract is null and void. It's like you better take whatever you can get.
it's null and void. You can't trade it, right? I don't understand. Like,
I don't think they would null out the contract. I don't know what they would do. Worst case scenario, to be honest.
I think if they null it, I think what would hurt is to say, because to me, if you just make him a free agent and allow him to go anywhere he wants, you're rewarding that. I think the better way to do that is to just do a trade.
Right? Like chip him to Utah. Like that's his.
I was going to say, you gonna send him to the Pelicans? I mean,
that was what somebody floated. They said trade him for Zion.
Oh God! If you're the Clippers, that's one problem for another.
Zion,
the baddies is in LA.
That is true.
That
oh yeah. You can't do that.
That is true. Wait.
Oh my!
Zion can't be anywhere near.
No.
You gotta send Zion.
You put Zion
Utah,
in LA. You put Zion in LA. He'll be just like Lil Nas X was the other day in those streets of LA. You put him out there, man.
Oh, that's terrible.
Don't do that to that man.
It's not safe in LA.
It's not. It's not.
That's funny. All right, let's move on to the other city in La La Land. More well-renowned Los Angeles Lakers. All right.
They had DeAndre Ayton.
They do, yeah. So they have. Let's go over their starters. Luka Doncic, or at least my projected starters for them. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton. Returning off the bench, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber, who was hurt most of last year when they got him. Dalton Connect, Bronny James Jr., Jackson Hayes, and Christian Koloko. New additions, Marcus Smart, a nice addition. Jake LaRavia, Adu Fierro, and Chris Manning, the rookies. So they had a pretty good offseason, in my opinion. And they extended Luka, and apparently they just re-signed JJ. Didn't see that one coming, but cool. Good for him. Picking up DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. I'm like, that's not a bad summer. Not a bad summer at all. Lakers looking to go farther this summer. I mean, this season, this postseason, than they did last year. I really am looking forward to seeing what skinny Luka look like in the regular season. Will it be just the same but better, or the same period? We'll have to wait and see. Because he had a good Euro League before, or Euro tournament, whatever that was. And he was putting up some really good numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about it. Prime, let's start with you.
Lakers, man. So I like what they did. I think they had a pretty good offseason. I like the addition of definitely of Marcus Smart if he's healthy. I love that. And I just think with this season, probably, of course, we're watching when everybody else is watching, because if I'm not mistaken, Reeves hadn't got that money yet, right? I don't think Austin Reeves has got that contract.
Next year, it's his free agency, I believe.
Okay, so
next time.
But there have been talks about him. They were trying to make a move early on that deal. There, so the one thing I will notice is, not notice, we already knew he was gone, but I'm anxious to see how this team operates. Without a Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dorian is just a guy that could do so much for you. You know,
Right.
score nice, play good defense, can guard probably about 3 positions. So, you know, so going a whole season without Dorian would be interesting. But I mean, hey, you talking about a team that won 50 games last year. I don't doubt that this team can do it again. You know, a full season of Luka and Bron. I mean, why not? I think, you know, they're in the same boat. You know, can they get out of the first round? Because who did they lose to last year? Was it Minnesota? Who took them out last year?
Minnesota. Yes.
That sounds right. Yeah.
That was the second round, though.
It was second round? I thought it was first round. Was it second round?
Lakers were out in the first round. Lakers are out in the second round.
Okay.
I was wrong. Up to make sure.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They were out in the first round to Minnesota. Well, I guess technically second round if you want to count the play-in as a round. But no, it's for sure the first
that's
round.
what I thought. Because I'm like, I saw extra Lakers basketball in the postseason.
But
Well, they didn't make.
That was in my mind that it was the first round because I was sitting there thinking,
the Lakers were playing too.
No, that's what I'm saying. They weren't. So that they were for sure first round.
Yeah,
okay.
He was just saying that if you include the play-in as the first round, then
right,
it would be the second.
The wild card game.
Yeah,
right.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
They won one. Yeah, I think they were like 1-4 or something like that. And so
yep, exactly.
Yeah, so that's just the question with them. Can they? You know, we know they're in the playoffs. You know, long as nothing happened to LeBron, nothing happens to Luka. Just a matter again, can they get out of that first round of the playoffs? Can JJ get them out of there? And obviously they believe so. I mean, they've got his contract situation. If there was one out of the way, they've already given an extension. You know what I'm saying? So they believe he's the guy. So we're going to see, who's going to ride with them. And, you're talking about a coach. I think they were talking about the aspirations that he has. And he believes that this team can make major moves. And this guy's calling in with Tom Brady. They said he met with him and Belichick in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? He talked to him to get some word, of inspiration. So, we'll see. We'll see. Who's on that roster by the end of the year is going to be interesting. I know I had heard some Rui Hachimura talk about the possibility of him being elsewhere. Not that they don't like him, but what can they get for him? There's a lot of teams like a Rui Hachimura.
It's fair.
So.
You got running with no contract. He's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year. So
make a move now.
I mean, this is.
He's going back to LA.
If he does, right now, yeah, he could obviously.
It was send Rui back to the Wizards.
The Wizards for who?
I don't even know, man. I just threw it out there.
That'd be interesting.
Who do the Wizards got? I don't even know what they roster anymore.
They got your boy.
He should have retired.
Oh, Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the AARP team.
That's right.
They got two vets for sure, and the rest of them are mostly kids. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Lakers. Go on.
No, I was super high on this team because remember our argument was you viewed the Rockets how I viewed the Lakers. So I definitely think this team is able to make a lot of noise. My biggest my focus this season for the Lakers is what can they get out of that 5 position, because that is one of the most gifted, inconsistent players I think I've seen in a long time.
Not as bad as Jackson Hayes, though. Jackson Hayes is so bad.
DeAndre Ayton, I feel like, has the potential to make the All-Star game every year and just always fall super short. So for me, if he can play up to his potential, I think he'll blend in effortlessly. Austin Reeves, looking for him to make some kind of a jump. Dalton, if the Lakers actually commit to him instead of trying to trade him again. Maybe you can get something out of him coming off the bench.
If they play him.
Right. Yeah,
that was the weirdest thing. They were just like, you traded. And the NBA was like, no. And they were like, oh, well, we don't want him. We don't want him. No, to me, the additions are kind of hit or miss because you don't know what Marcus Smart you'll get. You definitely won't get Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart. So I guess you're just looking for knockdown shots if that's something you can count on them to do. But no, look, Luka lost all of that fat, gave up donuts and ice cream and cake
Beer.
and pies.
Big beer guy.
LeBron put him on his program.
Yeah, sure did. I didn't even recognize him. I saw him. I was just like, oh, they drafted this kid. I'm like, oh no, that's
good.
good. I'm like, this is one of those kids that they drafted. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't know that was Luka. So I have a lot of faith in what this team can do. Anytime you have LeBron James, you have a shot. It's just the consistency of Luka, staying healthy, not getting himself thrown out of games, and just being consistent. I think if Luka does that, Luka not only can lead this team to where they need to be, but Luka on the low could be your dark horse MVP this season.
I mean, he's always
dark horse is interesting.
Yeah,
He's slated as number 3 in the odds.
Oh, he's number 3 in the odds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I wasn't off.
I mean,
he could be.
I wouldn't call him a dark horse either.
No. I just said dark horse because I was thinking of all the other people that I guess mentally I thought narratively could be put in there before him. But okay, cool. All right.
I think they have him rated. I think it was rated number 2 in ESPN's ranking today.
Oh, it might. In the odds, it's Shea, Jokic, Luka, Giannis. It's been the same for like the past 3 seasons. They just get shuffled around.
For MVP.
Yeah, that's to keep Americans out of that shit. I'm noticing you, NBA.
They're going with a new thing for the All-Star game. They're having the world team.
That's why they keep bouncing around the MVP to try to give it to Jokic or somebody like that. They're like, damn, nobody American. We over that shit.
There's no American in the top 6 according to SB Nation.
Yeah.
Shit right there, man.
I believe that. I don't know how many more times we got to do Olympics and whoop ass over there for them to realize, hey, the Bucks here. Like,
guess who is the first American they got?
Anthony Edwards.
No.
Jalen.
There you go.
Jalen Brunson.
Yep. Anthony Edwards was second.
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, like this. Like, oh my God, yes. I love the sound of that.
Man. All right, cool. Anyway, Didge, talk to me about the Lakers.
This is the LA team that I think should be investigated. I don't know what they do.
For existing.
No, and granted, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because it happened mid-season. But this is the one team that I'm afraid when their fans start doing jersey photoshops because it could legitimately happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Like, I don't know if they have just a fan every year who's just like selling their soul. They got so many fans that it can happen.
It's fair.
But it's just like I don't understand it. Obviously, look how well they did with just half a year of Luka and LeBron. They definitely got better with some of the cast surrounding them. DeAndre Ayton, all he needs to do is stay healthy. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, he's so hit or miss. It's not that he's hit or miss. He just hurt. Like, when he plays, he balls.
Pretty good, yeah.
And, you know, he's a consistent 15, 16, 17, and 12. And that's really all you need. So I think it's just a matter of how healthy can he be. And to be honest, that last year in Portland, I don't know how much of that was not health and how much of that was just
a lot of it was he was hurt a lot. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if he was pretending or not, but he was definitely hurt.
He only played 40 games last year. But again, I don't know if 20 of those was I don't really want to go out here for this team. Like,
it's possible. That's a Jazz thing, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So I think they were 3 seed last year. I could see them, battling for that 3 seed again. 3. Probably 2. It just depends on how some of the other things in the West shake out. Like we were talking about before, the West is a gauntlet. It's just going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, there's some bangers out there in the West. But yeah, like I said, the Lakers, they're a good team. They were a good team last year. If anything, they got a little bit better. Because I do like the addition of Ayton and Marcus Smart. And now, healthy. The problem is their bench was really hurt too. Gabe did not have a good year. Max Tabor, when they got him in the trade, he wasn't hurt. I mean, he wasn't healthy. So, yeah, and they brought Jackson Hayes back. Good for Jackson. He still has a job.
I will say one other thing to lead credence to he might not just want to play with Portland. It's very suspicious that he was playing 67 and more. Obviously, I think his second year he only played like 30 something and he got hurt. But 67 and more every season in Phoenix. Magically, these injury problems happened when he went to Portland.
Yeah,
just saying.
Once he started calling himself dominating, that's when things started to fall apart. Not as dominating as he thought. Anywho, La La Land looks to have another strong year. Let's move on to the next team. The team I see right now, I've seen the most hate come from. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. There people seem to be down on this.
No, I get why.
Yeah, I take it back. I thought the different team. Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say no. I understand why there's hate on this team.
It's the next team. The next team is what I meant. This team I can understand too. This was a little weird. Suns went through some changes once they realized their big three project was not working. I could have told them that because why would you do what you do? I'm not going to get into it. The point is they traded away Kevin Durant. That was a huge trade this summer and bought out finally Bradley Beal after forever. That just did not work out. And that in the trade, they ended up getting Jalen Green, nice young prospect, and Dylan Brooks. Good for them. They've always had an okay bench anyway. They'd also, I believe, traded for Mark Williams. Yes, they did. Traded for Mark Williams. So I think Mark Williams is a good center, solid center.
They tried to trade for Kuminga.
Did they?
Yeah, they tried to trade Royce O'Neal.
That's the other team that likes Kuminga. It was between the Kings and the Suns. And that's another spot because they promised him a starting job. I can see that. I can see them doing that. I don't know who was it. Royce O'Neal?
It was Royce O'Neal in like two. I think it was a first and a second, or maybe 2 seconds. And I'm pretty sure. Obviously, Warriors said no.
Yeah, very stingy right now with what they want back. But those are two places that would have played him and started him. And like in the Warriors, there's no promise of that. There's actually more promise that he might get benched again, and not just benched.
Be down in the rotation,
yeah. So like that's the problem with him and Golden State. Anyway, let's get down to the starters. My projected starters at the moment: Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn, and Mark Williams. Returning Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, Nick Richards, Colin Gillespie, Oso Iguodaro. New additions, a lot of new faces in Phoenix. Nigel Hayes-Davis coming over from Europe. Jordan Goodwin was a Laker last year. Jared Butler, I believe the last team was Wizards. Kaman Maluwak. He was rookie. Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, Isaiah Livers, and C.J. Huntley. All new faces, mostly rookies. But the Suns. Juwan, talk to me about the Suns, man.
The Suns have no hope. I have to understand how a franchise, we as a community, fought so hard to get competent management, found a way to revert itself right back to the dungeon. Like, I don't understand. It's self-inflicted, too. You got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and you thought the way to complement that was Bradley Beal. I don't know. I don't know what you say to a franchise like this. Like, I don't know. So for me, I have no hope for them. And honestly, when you want to talk about teams that should be investigated, you have to think of Phoenix Suns.
They are being investigated.
Keeping Devin.
Yeah.
They are being. Don't worry, Juwan. They are being investigated. There's
good.
lawsuits against them. They're for sure being investigated.
Different reasons, but yes.
No. Well, yeah. I'm with you there. But no, I've been saying for years now, loyalty is not a thing. We know that because Damian Lillard said loyalty. And the first chance he got to get the fuck out of Portland, he was out.
He came home, though.
I mean, eventually.
No. No. There's no. I have nothing bad. I'm just saying the fact that Devin Booker has refused to leave, he has something invested in Phoenix.
He has love. Yep.
Love ain't that strong, Joe. I can tell you that right now.
Love is strong.
There's something else.
There's some strong loyalty to that organization.
Well,
I respect that.
You know what I need, Joel? You know what I need from Devin Booker? I need every time a media day comes around, he never mentions two words, winning or championship, because those can be important to him. Not staying here through all this bullshit. It cannot be. It can't be. It can't be. This team.
They tried, and it just fall on their face.
This team.
They got to the finals once. That was their best chance, and then they kind of just crumbled.
It was such a glorious time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when Giannis hit that 50-piece. That 50-piece nugget.
Such a glorious time.
Extra sauce. Yeah, I remember that. They asses home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had that alley-oop. I watch that edit every day.
No, I just for me, Joel, there's just nothing else to be said. This team wants to continue to be horrible, and they're doing a really good job. Really good job.
They're definitely breaking down the team as it was constructed was, to me, the smart. It wasn't working. You can't have that much money invested in those three guys and not make the playoffs. Not even the play-in.
Like, they were like 11th, weren't they?
Like, it was sad. Like, oh my God, it was so bad. I don't understand how. And they went through 2 coaches in 2 years. Insane. So, them doing what they did, in my opinion, was a good idea. Trade them away, get rid of them, get them off the books as much as you can. Start over. I still don't like that they don't have an actual point guard. Yeah, whatever. But to me, they're in, at least if they are planning on changing things, they're in the right. This is the beginning of the right direction. Will it continue? That's to be determined. Prime, talk to me about the Suns.
Shit, I think Juwan Booker's real good, man. I don't know really what to say about this team, to be honest with you. Like, like I say, something's got a hold on Devin Booker, or she's got something's going on we don't know about. I mean, but maybe he got 4 baby mamas, and I don't know what's going on.
Got 4 baby.
Dylan Brooks is gonna bring some toughness. I do like the young kid Ryan Dunn. He's UVA. He's from out this way, so I'm a fan of Ryan Dunn. Can't go wrong with Mark Williams. I mean, all things considered, he'd never be considered as one of the better guys. But I said that's a double every night. If nothing else, you're gonna get from him on that. Okay. So, but it's crazy. I am anxious to see though, because Jalen Green doing a lot of talking, but he's also looks like he's doing a lot of embracing, and he's talking like him and Devin Booker are gonna set the world on fire together, and that's gonna be a fun backcourt to watch. If you're looking for some scoring, it's gonna be a fun backcourt to watch. But how much they can really back at least that part up is going to be interesting. But hey, we talked about some teams being old. There's some youth in here. There's some youth in here. So if they got something to look forward to, maybe it's that. But how much better, if better, they can be than that 11th place finish last year? Over in that West, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I feel you. I get that. Can't argue there. Didge, how do you feel about Phoenix?
I don't have much to add that Prime and Juwan haven't already said, but to Juwan's question about why Devin Booker resigned, someone asked him that. And he first went on to talk about the last 2 years by saying that the last 2 years were the toughest in his career, that he doesn't think there was any hatred in the last group amongst the guys. He just thinks that everybody was on a different plan and they didn't have the same common goal or the same objective that what it turns into. Weird. So then he further went along to say if there's unfinished business in Phoenix, they got so close to the mountaintop, and he knows how much a championship would mean to that city. So that's why he resigned.
That's what he's telling you.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Sounds good, though. Whoever wrote it for him sounds good.
Sounds great, doesn't it? It's unfortunate that it's not going to mean anything because they're not going to do much, but, he's saying all the right things.
Now, if they make the playoffs with this squad, credit to them. They have a new coach, new squad.
Yeah.
That means at least they're going in the right direction.
A new coach again.
This is the third coach in 3 years.
I don't even know who their coach is now.
I think it's Jordan Ott, I believe.
Yeah, Jordan Ott is a coach.
All right.
So how many
that's
coaches?
Not even the question. The question is
4 in the last.
How many?
I've never seen this man in my life.
Booker had since he's been drafted.
How many what?
Coaches has Devin Booker had since he's been drafted?
That's a good question.
That's the better question because
I feel like you could Google that.
I think it's 6, right? 5, 6.
At least 6, 7, I think.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Last thing I'll say really quickly, Joel, is forget Devin Booker's incessive need to stay. Right. At some point, as an organization, you have to know when to cut ties. Right. Like this isn't Devin Booker is a phenomenal player, but he's not a pendulum swinger, right? It's like Milwaukee. No matter how tough things get in Milwaukee, you don't make the decision to get rid of Giannis. Giannis makes that decision, right? Because he's a pendulum shifter. Devin Booker, to me, is not a pendulum shifter enough for you to think every year you keep having him drop 20, 25, 30, and you get nowhere. At some point, you have to go with what's in your best interest, which is ship him, and actually try to rebuild that team around some kind of consistency and focus to where you can properly build something there.
He's had 8 coaches, by the way.
8 coaches. That's
Eight?
Odd is going to be the 8th. 8 and 10 years.
So I was close.
8 and 10 years is insane.
Yeah,
it is.
I know.
What, legal?
For me, it's just I think the organization needs to start making the tough decisions.
They have a new owner now, though.
Just think about it. You traded Kevin Durant and got back Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. They are not scrubs, and I am not saying that. But I am saying if you can make that tough of a decision, you can make the decision for Devin Booker. It's not that hard. It can't be harder than that. Kevin Durant, and you got back Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, nothing can happen.
It's a little different because that's the guy they drafted and turned into a star. You know?
If I'm the new owner, I didn't draft this motherfucker. He ain't mine. I didn't draft him.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying, the Suns in general, I think that was.
Yes, I get it because you're just trying to sell tickets.
Did he not just sign a new extension? Was that this year?
Yeah, that was this year. That's why they were asking him about it at training camp.
But that's why at some point the organization needs to make that tough.
That doesn't mean he can't be traded. Now this can all change very soon. Like if this team collapses again.
That is very
it's very popular. I mean, it's very
very
possible that happens.
We all just agreed how tough this West is. Ain't no if. It's when. When.
Well, my thing is all of that'd probably be the best idea for them, considering they have a young team as is. You get younger, you get more picks. Get back picks because they were pick deficient because of all the trades they did to get Bill and Durant, all the picks they lost on those. So yeah, anything they can do to recoup any of the future is probably the best idea for this franchise, in my opinion.
Again, another situation where Didge, you gotta convince Phoenix that Kyle Kuzma is an all-star. Make the trade, Didge. I'm trying to help you out here, Didge.
Look, if I can do it.
What do you want from this team right here? Who do you want? It can't be Devin Booker. That's not what it works.
Give me Jalen Green, then I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
That's an upgrade.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad move. I like that one.
I mean, I'd take Royce O'Neal over Kuzma if we being honest.
I mean, that's who probably they're going to shop first. So might be the first time. That and a pick, if you get lucky, right?
Right.
Let's see how good this man plays. Kuz plays this season. We'll get there. We'll get there next week. Not next week. Following. We got a couple weeks. Anyway, let's move on to the last team in the division. Team I meant to talk about earlier. That's been very, very slept on, at least in my opinion. Probably because there's not much here, especially on the bench. I still have some faith in, I guess, some of these guys, and that's probably why I'm so high as I am on them. Not high, like I think I have them in the top 5 type shit, but I have them making the playoffs, which is I think a lot of people don't. And I can see why Sacramento always seems to fall out, and when they do, they can't succeed. So I understand the pessimism, but I do like. Maybe I just like so many of these dudes, but it is what it is. Let's go over the starters. My projected starting lineup for the Sacramento Kings are Dennis Schroeder, who had himself a fucking time in the Eurobasket. I think Germany did win gold again for the second time, and he was MVP. So Dennis had himself a good year last year, honestly, before he got traded away, I think twice. Bless his soul. Zach LaVine, who I still think got some juice in him. He had a decent year last year. Always a little injury prone, but he's not bad. DeMar DeRozan, another guy I think is still good. Slept on majorly now. But DeMar DeRozan is still there, still a force to be reckoned with. Keegan Murray, nice young player, 3-and-D, 6'8". Domantas Sabonis, another guy I really like, rebounding demon. Wish he had more of an outside game, but he's a force in the paint for sure. And then they have one of the better six men in the league, in Malik Monk, who they seem to want to trade, probably to make room for Russell Westbrook. That's what I keep hearing. So it's possible Malik will not be here long term. Keon Ellis, another guy, they bring him back. He was a defensive guy for them. Devin Carter, I believe he's the son of Anthony Carter. He was a rookie last year. See if he gets more burn this year. Doug McDermott is back. Dougie buckets. Isaac Jones. I like Isaac Jones. He's got some upside. He's shown some decent game. I've liked what I've seen out of him. See if he can make another leap this year and actually get some burn. The new additions, you got guys like Drew Eubanks. Okay, backup center. Dario Saric. I don't know if Dario Saric is. I don't know if he's going to be in the rotation. Nick Clifford. I like his hustle. Good rookie. Max Arenda, center. Isaiah Stevens, Daquan Plowden, Dylan Carwell, another center. But all these guys on two ways. And, this is the Kings. Didge, let's start with you. What do you think about the Sacramento Kings?
They're not fooling me twice. I remember last year I was big on them, and you see what happened.
Yeah, I get it.
They not fooling me twice. Play-in is they max. I think I was in here arguing, they could be number 4 in the West, number 3. See what happened with that. That ain't happening this time. Play-in is they best. That's all I got. I'm disgusted. I was even high on them.
Doug Christie is the coach now, right? Full time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime, what you think about Sac?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot with Sacramento either. I mean, he obviously feel like they're cooking something, bringing in Doug Christie, because that's one of their guys. So I kind of feel like they're making a true commitment to try to do something here. You got about $90 million, I believe, wrapped up between Levine and Sabonis. So, are you gonna ride that, of course? But then again, what are you gonna do with these other guys? And Malik Monk, Malik Monk, he's the piece that we're gonna be watching here for a minute, because it seems to be several teams that have interest. We talked about one of them possibly early, but I think who can best fit that contract or the money that he would be owed.
Right.
But I think this team is definitely dedicated to being a good team and staying maybe within the top, staying a playoff franchise, at least let me say that. I think they finished 4th in the division last year. So I see a lot of commitment there. So we'll just see what happens. But I still think this team makes the playoffs. I think this is a playoff basketball team right here, barring any major injury. And, we'll see how far they get from there, get there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. We'll see. Juwan, how do you feel about the Kings?
Didge is absolutely right. This team is it's the team version of Justin Herbert. I mean, it's just you can't. I'm sorry. I thought the teaming of Levine and DeRozan could work in Chicago, and the fact that Sacramento watched that not work, and then said, "I'm going to bring you to the tough West, right? The tough West, and see if we can't make that work." Like I don't.
Because I know they didn't think that Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis was going to be like that. Those were going to be the piece de resistance. Like that wasn't going to be it. That wasn't what was going to put them over the top.
I will say this, Didge. I will say this, right? Not going back on what I just said, but I will say this. If you could at least get Keegan Murray to be 50% of what a lot of people projected him to be, and Sabonis to just turn it up in the postseason, then yes, Levine and DeMar DeRozan do elevate that. But that's putting everything together. And they don't seem to know how to put it all together. So for me, it's just like, I realistically, like, yes, on paper, you look at this and you're like, it could be a dark horse, right? It could be. It could be a team that could upset someone because the talent is there. But realistically, no.
Yeah.
No. Like, no.
Keegan Murray, we were talking so big last year. And granted, obviously, a lot of this is on what we talked about last year and how they let us down. But we were talking about how Keegan Murray was going to take a step up from them first 2 years. This man got worse. He shot worse. He rebounded worse. He scored worse. Disappointing.
It is sad. The lottery pick. What was number 4 that year?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, like I think my favorite part is Levine and DeRozan played already in Chicago. That didn't work. Why did you think it was going to work in Sacramento? That's a good point. I don't know. That's a fair point. But I look at them on paper as starters at least, and I like a lot of them. It's just like they just don't mesh well together, and they already made a big move by trading Fox last midseason, right, to San Antonio. So it's like that was one big move. Maybe they do have to make another move. And is it Sabonis? Is it DeMar? Is it Zach? Who is your who right now? You're bringing in Dennis Schroeder. To me, you're just kind of putting a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
And I think don't get me wrong. I think he's good. I just don't know if it's enough to take you over the hump. And it's quite a large hump considering if De'Aaron Fox couldn't do it, why would Dennis Schroeder do it?
Well, first, Joel, what that team has to figure out is what's the hump. Is the hump the first round? Is the hump the postseason? Is the hump?
They can't get to there, so that seems to be the issue.
The hump, I'm sure, isn't a championship, right? Because unless we get Levine turning like all worldly or DeRozan turning the clock back and becoming all worldly, championship's not in their future this year, right? So it's like, what's the hump? Because if you're telling me you put together and paid all this goddamn money just to get out of the first round, then I'd say you failed. You've already failed.
Yeah. I think maybe you got to start with trading one of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan at least.
Yeah, if you can get somebody to take Zach's contract, though. I don't know how much
the contract is crazy.
Yeah, but him and Sabonis between the two of them, and that's like $90 million. I think his is like 40 something. 40.
Yeah,
I know
Levine's is 47. Sabonis is 43.
I know a team that would take Levine immediately, but they just don't have anything to trade to get him. The Lakers would take him in a heartbeat, but they just don't have anything to give to get him. Right? Because it's like, you don't want to give up, what's his name? Austin. Because to me, I think you're making yourself worse if you do that, right? Because it's
that's who I would ask for sure. I just financially that wouldn't work.
No, I'm just saying. Just let's say money did work. Schematically, putting Luka and LeBron with Zach LaVine does not help you. And I say that because at least Kyrie can be more off ball. I don't think you can just regulate Zach to being off ball. I don't think that's when he's his best, is when you're just telling him to be a spot up shooter. So that doesn't help you. You can do that with Austin Reeves. I don't think you can do that with Zach LaVine. So
what kind of piece can they give for DeMar? DeMar's probably he's under 30 mil, right? He's like 20 something mil.
Yeah, he's 24. I think it's at. Let me go back to
the money. Would be
24.
The problem, Prime. At that point, the money would be the problem.
Is it? You're saying they can get Levine? Levine was 47.
45. Yeah, 40.
No.
Imagine
if the money did work, Levine is like, money's not the biggest problem, because if you could figure out the money, he schematically is a problem. Like scheming wise, like how you put that what you have, that is a bigger problem. DeRozan, you're absolutely right, would be the better fit, but it's like, I'm not trading Reeves for DeMar DeRozan. Like, that's not going to get me past.
Well, could you get around the league? Maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah, it would have to be not the Lakers for that.
Yeah.
I might trade Rui Hachimura for him though.
Rui?
If they're willing to do it.
How much is Rui making?
18. You can. I don't know. I forgot how. Scroll back to the Lakers tab real quick. How close were they to the second apron?
There you go.
Throw in Dalton Net.
That's that four. You could. They would be right there. Connected. That connects to another four.
Yeah.
Rui and connect. I'm giving that for DeRozan.
Didge, if they're willing to do that, then do it immediately. But Austin Reeves will never be in any of my conversations for DeMar. So as long as you don't bring up his name, like stupid ass Utah, then we're good.
Utah is ridiculous.
We're good.
Let's see if the ESPN trade machine says it works. If it does, the Lakers will send me a consulting check.
Want to check?
Yep.
Shit, Lakers. Anytime you come play the Knicks, give me front row.
No, that's only one game a year. I need more than that.
Oh yeah, that's only one game a year. Hey, that's worth it. That's worth it, man.
It failed.
Why did it say it failed?
What did it say?
We must be missing something.
Oh, the money, it just this much. Just this much.
Point something.
It's under
73,000.
Oh,
That's
what?
it?
That's how much. That's how much I would need to make up.
Hey, Didge,
You can find that.
Didge, wait, time out.
Absolutely.
Time out. You know who the Lakers are gonna look at LeBron and say, "Hey, I mean, your son like to travel, right?"
How much Jackson Hayes making?
They can't trade him. He's blocked on this.
Oh, that's bullshit, man. So take him.
Adu Thiero, you out.
That's fair. Just fuck it. Sorry, I do.
I don't. That's the
I
problem.
wish you. I wish you do.
All right, so Didge just made it work. Sacramento Lakers, get it done, man. Block
Hayes is only making what, $3.5 million, maybe.
Yeah, he's 3.5 exactly.
Perfect. Make it work.
Y'all nicer than me. Y'all nicer than me. The first person I would have looked at was Bronny. Hey, get your ass.
I feel like they might not want to give up Bronny, so that's why I was sort of leaving him there.
I love that you think it's an option. You mean LeBron don't want them to give up Bronny?
Well, that's enough. That's all you did. That was, to be honest.
I gotta imagine if you're the Lakers, you don't really give a fuck. I mean, unless it involves maybe losing LeBron, then it's like, all right, I'll hold on. We got another team, Joel.
That's it. That was the
That's
last
it.
one. 5 teams.
All right.
That's it. We are come to the end of our discussion today on the Pacific Division.
Wait, last quick question, because I thought this would be fun. We missed a chance to do it last week, but it'd be fun to do it going forward. Who are we picking to come out of this?
Like the top teams.
Oh, we talked about that last week. We just said it during the talk.
That's fair. The Kings.
Well, yeah.
I'm
going Lakers.
It's Lakers.
To win the division?
Obviously,
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
The Lakers would be definitely my pick now until I see how all those pieces right there gonna work.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the Clippers
I
too.
can see how all those pieces gonna work and how Tyronn Lue is gonna figure that out, distribute the minutes and all that. For now, I definitely say the Lakers.
If they don't break their bones,
that right there can happen.
I will say this: we do know this is just Joel's projection, and albeit I usually trust Joel's projection, it usually turns out to be right. I just in my head, I know you guys are going to disagree, but for me, I would think to myself, I've seen Chris Paul and James Harden work. I would want to start that and have Beal come off the bench.
That was a generation ago, though.
No. But I'm saying those two know how to play their roles together, right? Because it's like that was the problem with Beal in Phoenix, is that you're essentially playing with the same kind of player. Now, albeit Harden is a way better facilitator than Devin Booker
for a long time now.
No, you're absolutely right. But I'm saying they both love to score. So I'm like, will James Harden essentially just regulate himself to being a facilitator?
That's what he said. That's why he wanted Bradley Beal. He wants to get him right again. That was his words.
All right, we hear a lot of words. Let's see what those actions hitting like. Preseason's coming up. Let's see. Let's see.
Nope. I'm just saying, Chris Paul, he got to realize it. This is probably his last year, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy the bench.
I mean, we'll see if they give him a farewell tour. We'll see.
Yeah, it's more or less that.
That's what this is. Because he said that this is his last year.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Let's see if the NBA gives him one.
You mean like what they did with like Kobe and shit? Like,
yeah.
Like every arena.
He might. I don't think he'll get the Paul Pierce treatment.
I hope no one ever gets the Paul Pierce treatment.
The Paul Pierce treatment was hilarious.
First of all, Paul Pierce didn't officially retire. We just said, "Dog, we're tired of seeing you dribble."
Yeah.
No, he tried. That's why Draymond said they don't love you like that.
They don't.
It was like Paul Pierce is coming to your town, and everyone was just like, "So." Like,
and
you don't get that shit. Melo didn't even get that.
Oh, yeah. It's fair. Anyway, so yeah, it'll probably the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors fighting it out for the top spot. Even though we'll see how the Warriors do. Hopefully, this gets resolved soon. please, for everyone's mental health.
It has to.
It's so annoying. Yeah, hopefully. It's going to be fun because I would definitely start Al Horford. His old ass could still start, sadly, for the Warriors.
Golden State, if this Kuminga thing starts to become too much for them, do you think Golden State could be a team looking for Zach LaVine?
Not for LaVine. I don't think that's what they're looking for.
DeRozan doesn't help you. Him and Jimmy Butler are essentially the same thing.
No, I wouldn't want either one of them.
DeRozan definitely doesn't help him.
Yeah, no. That's the problem I have. Yeah, because especially if
Curry, LaVine, and Butler, that'd be an interesting.
It'd be very interesting because Curry could take a little bit of a step back and essentially just become your spot-up shooter, right? You have to guard Jimmy, you have to guard Zach, and that gets you more open shots for Curry. It opens him up a lot more that we haven't seen since, like, obviously Clay and Durant or Clay and Jordan.
The problem is the big money guys are Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you're gonna have to make that decision on Draymond. You're gonna have to pull that trigger.
I'm just saying.
At some point, you gotta pull that trigger.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it would have been this year, and
I thought it was like 2 years ago.
That's
what I was about to say, Joel.
I was like, they are insistent.
Really hasn't done anything, so it's like they're destined to do something at some point. And it's gonna be real interesting to see what that is.
Well, they might let him play out this season. He has a player option next year, so
Good.
they might let him play out this season on that same contract. I mean, it's $25 million, and then you just sort of suggested strongly, like, ain't you tired of playing?
See, don't even do stuff like that. You gotta do stuff like start doing team leaves, but tell him it's at 3, but y'all leave at 1. Like that, where he's just like, you know what? I'm not even respected here. And you're just like, oh, what? No.
Oh, don't say that.
Say no.
I mean, if you're really talking to money, it's Steph and Jimmy, and then a little Draymond. Like Steph and Jimmy are almost 70% of their cap.
I would package Draymond with Kuminga, is why I was saying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Steph and Jimmy are 70% of their cap.
It's crazy.
70% is ridiculous.
That's wild. That's a lot.
Like,
LaVine would like eat up the rest of the cap. that would be the
that's what I'm saying. Like,
to spend that much to know that neither one of them is enough to get you to the finals is insane.
That's crazy.
That's why they're doing what they're doing right now.
All right, well, we got the Lakers as of now. You know, obviously it can change. Season hasn't started yet, but I think we all agree the Lakers for now. And
the Dark Horse Suns, baby. Dark Horse Suns.
Dark Horse Suns is crazy.
Yeah, that's seal level dark.
Oh, dang.
Dark, Joel. That's another kind of dark, my brother.
We are her. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you guys for doing the show with me.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. Be back next week. Next week we'll be doing the Southwest. There's a bunch to talk about there. There's some interesting news that came out. Not interesting, sad actually. News that came out this week about one of their teams. So we'll talk about it next week. And
dang, I missed the news. What happened?
Friend got hurt. ACL tour. Might be out for the season.
I forgot about that. That happened. There's a lot of stuff that happened that day.
Yeah, no, it was a busy day.
There's a lot of NFL. There are a lot of NFL confirmations of ACL tears too. I might have lumped that in as like a Texans player on accident.
That's fair. But yeah, that we'll get into next week. We'll do these. Let's do it now. South. Whoops, I spelled that completely wrong. South again. West. Anyway. Can't wait for next week. We'll get into it. And again, thank you guys. Thank people for watching. For anyone that actually stayed with me and watched us go through this. And got another couple more weeks. And the season almost here. And hopefully we'll get some new news about, training camps basically already started. We got some preseason games starting up soon too.
Next week.
What's the first? Is that the first? All right, I forget the date.
Next Thursday, I think.
That tells you my commitment. I'm gonna be here next Thursday instead of starting Ghost of Yote.
Look at that. I mean, I will also be.
God, Ghost of Yote is next week.
My luckily, we have the rest of the year to play.
I'm also off on Friday, so
that helps too. But all right, guys, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Before that, please, guys, tell them where they can find you. Didge, where can they find you?
You can find me at DidgeD. That is DIDGEDEE in all places. Come around tomorrow at 5 Central, where Trayvon and I will be doing our weekly tech podcast, Geeking on Tech.
Nice. Prime?
At Prime SBK over on X. You can also find me at the SBP, which is the Sports Bar Podcast, over on Facebook and over on YouTube. And you can join us usually around 11 a.m.-ish on most Sundays. You guys, you're welcome to come back through if you guys are free. This week, Sunday, we're going to be talking. I haven't finalized everything, but you got some good stuff going on over there. So we're going to talk some Mahomes and Lamar. They about to do battle. So which team needs it more? Lil Jackson Dart getting his start and a couple other things. Real good game. So come through.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up. I wasn't gonna, but then Jackson Dart got the starting job.
One more week at least, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm done. And then they changed it. Anyway, Jawan.
As always, don't follow me, follow your dreams.
It is.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. Good night.